I gotta say, why are we practicing yoga? Because we're not in it, yeah? If we were living in the whole time, we wouldn't need to do these practices, yeah? But somehow we feel, I'm not quite as holy here as I could be. I'm not quite relishing life perhaps as fully as I might really be able to. So I'm going to work with these techniques because I think maybe they can help me. Yeah? I say, why does anybody come to yoga? And my one-word answer is pain. Some things are pain. And we have the idea this yoga business could help alleviate that. It could help move away from pain to a bit more space and freedom and easefulness. Yeah? And so we start to explore these ways to be a little bit more fully present. And when we're a little bit more fully present, through whatever mechanism, somehow there's a slightly different feeling tone. And this feeling tone can also be accompanied by noticing things that we might not notice otherwise. Have you noticed this in your practice? And what do you notice that you might not notice otherwise?
Gratitude.
We feel gratitude, yeah? We've noticed lovely things, yeah?
How your mind wanders.
We notice how the minds and our thoughts travel all over the place.
Heightened awareness of that.
Yeah?
Thoughts, imagery, becoming aware.
So we notice the mind moving around. Have you ever had the experience that you've gone to bed having made a resolution for the following day, only the next morning for almost like another person to wake up who has no interest in that resolution? Have you noticed this, yeah? So this is the yogic question, well, who am I? Yeah? How is it that I go to bed resolute, clear, determined, and I wake up somehow different? Yeah? We've all noticed this, yeah? So we notice that we are somehow a bit split. Yeah? And so the idea in yoga is, can I come out of the split? Can I come out of being divided into being Ganesha, into being an entity in which all the gunners, all the members of the gang are working as one? Yes? Now when we start to look more keenly, we notice we are divided, we notice we're a bit split. What else might we notice when we, as it were, switch on the light of centered awareness and shine it more fully, perhaps even into parts of ourselves that habitually we don't care to look at? What might we see? Or what might we become aware of? Since I have been coming to Mysore, a phenomenon has occurred within what we might call the yoga paradigm in the modern world. And this is the phenomenon of Instagram yoga and social media yoga. Some of you are aware that this is a realm I have not so much first-hand knowledge of. However, there is this tendency to show to the world. What do we show to the world? The beautiful sunny things, for the most part, yes? Like, you know parkour? You know parkour, where the idea is to move through the landscape in the most effective, efficient way possible, yeah? The parkour video on YouTube shows you the person executing it. Well, they don't show you them practicing 7,000 times. Yeah? And I feel there's something a little bit unsettling about this, because it has actually exacerbated the problem which was already there. I remember when I did a yoga teacher training in 2003 to 4, I think. And at the time, a friend from university came to visit me. I was living in Thailand. He says, "Where do you do this yoga teacher training?" A yoga studio. A yoga studio? What's that? So they do yoga all day. And the guy's like, So who runs this place? Oh, it's actually an American guy. Why, he must be so chilled. No. But people have that perception, oh, you do yoga, you should be an established yogin. No, you do. We're only doing yoga because we're not established yogins. Yeah. But this whole Instagram exhibition yoga has kind of deepened this idea of like, oh, you're always in that glorious, effulgent up state. Whereas real yoga practice is about this. Yeah? It's about the pulsation. What's referred to sometimes in Sanskrit as spanda, or the opening and closing, or the expanding and contracting, or the moving out and the drawing back in. Goes by many names. But in Hatha Yoga, this is a lovely example of it. So you're all practicing Hatha Yoga, yeah? Because you do asana. So asana works with the basic Hatha Yoga principles. What is Ha? Let's all stand up. And we will do a Ha. So Ha. Make a strong contraction, like this. So you even contract your wrists, you feel some heat in your wrists. Yes. But if you were to live like this, how would it feel? It's not very nice, yeah? Now we're going to make a sound. So, ready? This is Ha, an extreme, yeah? Real contraction. And now. Yeah. So. Yes. And now we have Ha. And we have. Yeah. And now yoga. Yes. So Ha. Do it. And yoga. So yoga is the midpoint. Yeah. It's the place where Ha and Ta meet, and they draw out each other's complementary potential. Yes? Now, what is the classical definition of asana? Seat. The seat. Asana is the seat, and how is it described in the Yoga Sutra? Stira sukham. It is steady, and it is easy. So this is what I would like for Christmas, yeah? I would like this system, this body-born consciousness to live in asana, yoga asana. Stira sukha is sustainably easeful. And my intuition leads me to feel that if I can be only myself, I will realize this, I will recognize this. Yeah? So yoga works with reality. And the reality is when you're an incarnate human being, if you lift your right arm in space, do it. What do you feel on the front of the shoulder?
Effort.
Some effort, yeah? Otherwise, another word? Some tension, another word? Contraction, yeah? Now, can you give me a 4-letter word beginning with F that you feel on the front of the shoulder?
Fire.
I had another one in mind. Firm, yeah? And now if we take the arm back the other, and also before that, here, what do you feel on the underside?
Flabby.
A 4-letter word beginning with S? Soft, yeah? So contraction and reciprocal relaxation, yeah? We take the arm back. Oh, now on the back of the shoulder we feel the 4-letter F word. It's now firm on the back and relatively soft on the underside, yeah? So just by the way we move this vehicle in space, we can start to influence the way energy flows. Now, I think you all are familiar with a principle of Hatha Yoga that invites energy to flow to the middle and evenly through the whole system. Do this with your hands. Did you see that film, Hidden Figures? I've only been to the cinema once this year. That was the film. It was a good film. It's set in the 60s at NASA. They have these old 1960s computers. So you have to turn the knob. You have to put some effort in, yeah? Now when you turn the knob, now bring your left hand to your right wrist, what do you feel all around the wrist? Which four-letter word is it, the F1 or the S1?
Firm.
It's firm, yeah, but is it just on the up or down side, or the inside or the outside? It's all around. What is this called in Sanskrit? This is called bandha. Yeah? So when you do the same with your feet, when you stand, this activates bandha from the foot and it flows up to the root of the spine. Yeah? So bandha is that principle that helps energy flow through the Ganga, the river of the spine. And when energy flows in the Ganga, when the spine moves, everything gets irrigated. Yes? You don't look so convinced. So let's stand up again. And we'll do a little experiment. So we're going to do a simple yoga asana practice. We're going to activate bandha in the feet. Maybe some of you step in a bit because we're going to take the arms out a little bit. So feel that you activate the bandha in your feet. And notice with a slight bend in your knees, what do you feel in your body? Even though your knees are bent, you still feel, let the bandha go. Ooh. Activate the bandha. You feel tall, yeah? But you also feel grounded. So we are expansive and grounded, yeah? So again, there's this marriage, if you like, of mutually complementary opposites. Now, bring the hands in front of the waist. Let the hands reach up, as if you're going to grab a branch. Now, I know most of you here are in temporary dwelling places, and I know that some of you, like me, don't really have a permanent dwelling place. But if you do have a permanent dwelling place, I can recommend a Christmas gift to yourself is to install a branch in your dwelling place so you can hang. Does anybody have a branch installed? Because hanging is very nice for the whole body, especially the spine. Yeah? So now this is basically what spinal movement is this. Imagine you're hanging. The spine is just lengthening, yeah? Now with that length in the spine, keeping the length in the spine, bring the hands forwards and downwards. Just the spine, hips don't move. What's happening in the thoracic spine?
Flexion.
It's bending forwards, yeah? But the lumbar spine is staying pretty neutral. And the hands come further down and back. Then bring the hands in so the fingers point towards the floating ribs. Bring them through, stretch the wrist back, arc the arms out. Now what's happening in the thoracic spine?
Extension.
Yeah, so now it's moving back, but we're not closing the back of the body, yeah? We're lengthening the front without closing the back. Bring the hands to the opposite elbows. Root down through the feet and the hips, lift out of the right side of the navel, and then lift the arms up and over to the left side, interlacing the fingers. Lengthening the right side, but without scrunching or closing the left side. Release the left hand, gather the energy with the left palm. Take the hand to the opposite elbow. Root down through the feet and the hips, lift out the left side of the navel, then lift up and over to the right. Lengthening the left side, but also staying space in the right side, release the right hand. And gather the energy up, maintain that length in the spine. Keeping the length, bring the hands down to about chest or shoulder height. Keeping the hips facing forward, now rotate towards the right. Turning the palms so they face you, and then opening the arms, leading with the wrists and the elbows, like the arms are hugging a big tree. Then gather the energy with the right arm, bring it underneath the left. And then from the navel, keeping the hips facing forwards, rotate to the second side. And then open the arms again, leading with the wrist and elbows. Keeping the hands facing one another like you're hugging a big tree. Or a very big relative this Christmas day. And then bring the left arm in. And then keeping the length in the spine, bring the hands down. And then what do you notice?
Expansion.
Expansion. Anything else? Do you feel heat?
Yeah.
Warm?
Sure.
Where do you feel warm? How are your fingers? cells, the whole body is one. Energy is circulating through the whole system, but this is about as far away from the heart we can get, and the fingers and the toes. But we didn't do a lot of movement here, but we were moving the spine. So once the Ganga, when she starts to flow, then the whole field of our conscious system will get irrigated, will get enlightened. So haṭha technology basically uses bandha to ensure, or help ensure, that we are working from the center and moving from the spine. Yeah? And so it's the idea that we're training the system in ways of moving healthily and sustainably. So it can be sthira sukha. So we can be doing different tasks, moving in more demanding ways, but we can still have that easefulness. Yeah? Does that make sense? How long did we move for then? Like a minute, yeah? Minute or two. But you feel the whole system was enlivened. So this is the idea in yoga. We work with what is as skillfully as we can to train the system in the ways of being more efficient, more present. Now when we start to do that, what else might we notice?
Any tightness?
We might notice places of tightness. So we might notice, we could say dark places. Places that don't get so much attention. And how does it feel to look into the dark places?
Scary.
It can be rather forbidding, yeah? And this is the thing about yoga, is that yoga is basically designed to help us look into the darkest, scariest parts of ourselves. And this is what is, for the most part, lacking in a lot of the, let's say, mainstream presentation of yoga in the world today. People think yoga is about just feeling great all the time. Whereas the idea is it's about feeling great in the sense of vast, and including the whole spectrum of who you are and all your experiences, so you can reconcile them all. You don't have to deny any part of you. Because I've come to think, as long as we're denying or rejecting part of ourselves, can we be well? Can we be happy? Only when we reconcile all the parts. And so the idea at Christmas time, in this cycle of the year, is that there's been this dark period. Now, in that dark period, that quiet time, can you look anew into yourself, into this spectrum of what we're experiencing, and what can I learn this cycle around? Can I invite myself to look with that freshness, like it's a new year dawning? Can I look like it's the first time I've looked? Can I see something, perhaps, that I've not seen before?